DPWH, 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 DPWH. Ang maglingkod ng tapat, gantimpala'y karangalan, tunay na yaman, gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways, matibay ang samahan, budhi ang sandigan, laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan, serbisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglingkuran ang Pilipino. DPWH, 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 DPWH. Ang maglingkod ng tapat, gantimpala'y karangalan, tunay na yaman, gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways, matibay ang samahan, budhi ang sandigan, laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan, serbisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglingkuran ang Pilipino. DPWH, 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 DPWH. Ang maglingkod ng tapat, gantimpala'y karangalan, tunay na yaman, gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways, matibay ang samahan, budhi ang sandigan, laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan, serbisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri Tunay na yaman, gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways, matibay ang samahan. Budhi ang sandigan, laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan. Servisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglingkuran ang Pilipino. DPWH, 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 DPWH. Ang maglingkod ng tapat, gantimpala'y karangalan. Tunay na yaman, gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways, matibay ang samahan. Budhi ang sandigan, laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan. Servisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglingkuran ang Pilipino. DPWH, 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 DPWH. Ang maglingkod ng tapat, gantimpala'y karangalan. Tunay na yaman, gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways, matibay ang samahan. Budhi ang sandigan, laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan. Servisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglingkuran ang Pilipino. DPWH, 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 DPWH. Ang maglingkod ng tapat, gantimpala'y karangalan. Tunay na yaman, gagalangin kailanman. Sa public works and highways, matibay ang samahan. Budhi ang sandigan, laging maninindigan. Daan sa kaunlaran, tulay sa kinabukasan. Servisyo ang tungkulin ko, trabaho ko, dangal ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, tapat at marunong pinagkakapuri ko. DPWH, Pilipino at marangal, taas noon nagdiring ko. DPWH, buong pusong nagdiring ko. DPWH, ipinagmamalaki kong paglinturan.
We stand for the morning prayer to be followed by the singing of our national anthem.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. All-powerful God, we praise and thank you as we gather once again for the Procurement Conference and the Previd Conference. May we ask you for your blessings and guidance, that the activities set for this undertaking may be successful. Open our mind for us to think wisely, put us with understanding, cooperation, and peace in fulfilling our responsibilities for the success of Procurement Conference and Previd Conference. We ask this in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, pewas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiging, sa manlulupig, di ka masisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bahaw, ay ilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang tinawaan. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y nagumpay na nagiging, ang bituin ng araw niya kailan ang ating magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng maraming pagsika, layalangin sa likod. Aming ligaya naman may mamagin, at namatay ng tayo sa'yo.
So we may now take our seats. Again, good morning to all of us who are here today. So our activity, as I have said, our pre-procurement conference. For how many projects they are? 10? Ilan? And pre-bid conference. So these projects are funded under the NEP 2025. But before that, may we ask our head of the back secretariat if we have the quorum.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
With that, I now call this meeting to order. At this point, I would like to acknowledge the attendance, presence of everyone, starting from our of the head of the back secretariat, Engineer Mike Malvar, and the co-head, Engineer Christian Foronda, and our resource person for the from the planning and design section, Engineer Annabel Basilio, and Jerwin Oliveros. Now, asan yung yung mga now for those spokesperson in our pre-bid conference, we have Engineer John Takdol, Engineer Anthony J. Olin, Engineer Benson David, Engineer Mark Lawrence Bacho, right? And Engineer Charles Anthony Serrano, all right? Engineer Elmo Bernardo, Engineer Nico J. Bondok. Asan yun? So, good morning to all of you. And our IT expert, Jay, and his alternate. Now, on the presidential table, we have Engineer Alfredo Sevilla, end user for maintenance projects. And for all types of procurement, Engineer Renato Martinez. For all types of, for the end user for construction projects, Engineer Joey Zamora. And our Vice Chairman, Engineer MJ Jimenez. Yours truly, Engineer Antonio Bautista. So, we have scheduled for today, aside from this, is the opening of bids for goods. However, due to the suspension of work in government services in the Region 3, we will automatically suspend the opening to give time for those bidders to still drop their bids for the procurement of goods. So start on, let's proceed with the pre-procurement conference. I will read all the projects. These are based on the draft ITB 25. So we also acknowledge the presence of our representative of our union. Sama ka na. By its president. Vice President, I should say. Erickson Dunca. So 25 CJ 0045, construction of Paniqui drainage system. Phase 2, Paniqui Tarlac, ABC is 96,500,000. And next, 25 CJ 0046, retrofitting, strengthening of permanent bridges. Guiteb bridge along Paniqui-Ramos, ABC is 11,760,000. 25 CJ 0047, construction of flood control structure along Rio Chico River. Segment 27, Victoria Tarlac, ABC 62,725,000. Then 25 CJ 0048, construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Hall, Barangay Malayep, Gerona Tarlac, ABC 6,930,000. Then 25 CJ 0049, construction of bank slope protection structure along Rio Chico River, segment 42, Victoria Tarlac, ABC is 49 million. Next, 25 CJ 050, construction of multipurpose building, Daycare, Barangay Cruz, Victoria Tarlac, ABC is 4,950,000. Then 25 CJ 0051, construction of bypass and diversion road along Manila North Road to Tarlac San Miguel via Macabulos Road, Tarlac Phase 1, Tarlac City. The ABC is 96,500,000. 25 CJ 0052, construction of multipurpose building, Daycare, Barangay San Agustin, Gerona. ABC is 4,950,000. Next, 25 CJ 0053, construction of flood control structure along Susubayan Creek, segment 30, Ramos Tarlac, ABC is 96,500,000. So that's all for the projects included in the draft ITB. So the purpose of this pre-bid conference is to determine the readiness of the procurement. Those projects included on the draft ITB. So during this conference, we ascertain and confirm the description of work of the contract, the ABC, and contract duration to ensure that the procurement is in accordance with the PPMP and APP. So as I've said, to determine the readiness of the procurement at hand, including among others, aspect of the following: availability of procurement. These are included in the NEP 2025. And completeness of the bidding documents in their adherence to relevant general procurement guidelines. Completion of the detailed engineering according to the prescribed standards in the case of infra, civil works project. So review, modify, and agree on the criteria of eligibility screening, evaluation, and post-qualification. On the eligibility, it is the central work application, civil works application that do the electronic eligibility. However, we will also determine manually on the as regards to the presence and absence of the required documents of the technical envelopes. So review and adopt the procurement schedule, including deadlines and time frame for the different activities. So this procurement conference we undertake even though two projects are below the threshold, which is 5 million. No. Now, let me reiterate the content of the bidding documents that to be uploaded, no, for the consumption of the prospective bidders. So, the ABC, the ITB, request for expression of interest, eligibility requirement, instruction to bidders, including scope of bid, documents comprising the bid criteria for eligibility, bid evaluation methodology, criteria in accordance with the Act, and post-qualification, as well as the date and place of the pre-bid conference. So usually in this conference room, submission of bids and opening of bids, scope of work, plans, drawings, and technical specifications, form of bid, price, form, list, and form, amount, and validity period of bid security, form, amount, and validity of performance security warranty, form of contract, general and special condition of the contract. So the specification and other terms in the bidding documents shall reflect the necessary specification required to meet the needs of the procuring entity. So in an ambiguous term. So to provide the prospective bidders ample time to examine the bidding documents and to prepare their respective bids, the bidding documents are available from the time the ITB and request for expression of interest is first advertised, posted until the deadline of the submission and receipt of the bids. So there you are. So may we ask now our resource person, Ma'am Annabel Basilio, to ascertain to us the readiness of this project mentioned on the draft ITB.
Yung lahat po ng program tsaka plan, naka-ready na po siya. Pero yung bidding docs po, tinatapos po namin today.
What's supposed to be the date of the ITB?
Tomorrow po.
Tomorrow, all right. So be sure that you will be able to upload all those required documents mentioned on the billing document.
Yes po.
Right? So do we have any question, back members? So hearing none, on the part of the pre-procurement conference, the meeting is adjourned. So you are now excused, and we can now proceed on the pre-bid conference. By the way, I failed to mention that this proceedings is always guided by the rules and procedure of RA 9184, otherwise known as Government Procurement Reform Act, and other relevant issuances coming from the GPPB and DPWH in form of memorandum circulars and department orders. Those, to start with the pre-bid conference, we call on Engineer Patrick John Takdol for 25 CJ 0011. Tag-isa-isa lang pala kayo, ha? Alright, Jose, sige.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Engineer Patrick Jan Takdol, and I will be presenting one project. For contract ID 25CJ0011, contract name Construction of Multipurpose Building, Covered Court, San Bartolome High School, Mayantok, Tarlac. Scope of work includes complete construction of covered court without stage and with an embankment of 1.6 meters from NGL. It has a dimension of 32 meters by 17 meters.
Do we have any questions? So hearing none, thank you, Engineer Takdol. We call on Engineer Anthony J. Olin.
Good morning po to everyone. Contract ID 25CJ0012 with contract name Construction of Flood Control Structure along Dungon Creek, Package H, Paniqui, Tarlac. It has a target length of 172 linear meters consisting of slope protection with road component. The project duration is 181 calendar days and with total project cost of 49 million pesos. The scope of work includes surface courses with 0.25 meter thick Portland cement concrete pavement having a width of 6.10 meters. Earthwork consisting of clearing and grubbing, structure excavation, common soil, and embankment from barrow, and lastly, bank and slope protection works with reinforcing steel of grade 40 and structural concrete with a compressive strength of 20.68 megapascal. The type of steel sheet pile to be embedded is Z-type.
So, do we have any questions? So, based on the cross-section, do we have any questions? So, hearing none, thank you, Engineer Jailin. Now, we now call Engineer Benson David for 25 CJ 0013.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Engineer Benson David. This to introduce a project with a contract ID number 25CJ0013 with a contract name of Retrofitting, Strengthening of Permanent Bridges, Amoco Bridge 2. Along Tarlac Santa Rosa Road, the anticipated contract duration is 75 calendar days. The bridge has a length of 12 meters, 4 lanes, with a width of 3.66 meters, which include the following scope of works. 1. Other general requirements. Number 2. Bridge construction, which includes carbon fiber, 2 layers, has a 113.1 square meter, and epoxy injection on crack has a 55.8 linear meter.
Ano yun? Ano yung dalawang yun? Sheet file ba yan?
Dalawa po, boss. Yung ano po, mattress.
Dito, yung dalawang parang poste. Poste ba yan?
Yung pier po sa gitna. boss.
Okay.
Yes po. Yes. Existing.
So thank you, Engineer David. We call on Engineer Mark Lawrence Bacho for 25 CJ 0014.
Good morning, everyone. For the project with contract ID 25CJ0014, entitled Construction of Flood Control Structure along Brillante Rangayan, Sapang, Burgos Section, Segment 1, Paniqui-Tarlac, is located along the left bank of Tarlac River with a net length of 290 linear meters and a project duration of 212 calendar days, having scope of works which includes the following. First, earthworks consisting of structure excavation, embankment, and laid aggregate sub-base course for its 11 meters traveled width. Second, for road safety, installation of metal beam guardrail is provided. And bank and slope protection works, which covers the construction of two slope concrete slope protection structure in a driven Z-type steel sheet pile.
Engineer Sibila, I think you have questions. You're looking at the resource person. Talaga bang meron siyang slope na ganyan? Yung parang finish, ano? Parang hindi siya pantay? Is that the real... Yung ano niya, yung... Yan. Yung talaga bang hindi pantay yan? Nakapaganyan talaga? Okay. Aha. Okay. Yung ano, slope protection, slope yun, di ba? Wala bang provision ng whip holes siya? Whip holes? May pero hindi siya nakalagay. Alright. Pero merong apartment details yan. Okay, good. Talagang meron nakapaganyan siya. Parang may crown, ano? Para... Oo. Paikot siyan. Umiikot na ganyan. Bakit paikot ba siya? Straight, hindi. Talagang runoff para sa runoff. Para sa runoff lang. Hindi siya super cup talaga. Comedy na ka na naman. Ali kasi may halatay kitang doon sa guhit nung ano eh. Oh, para walang funding. Hindi nagpa-funding, di ba? 'Yun ang purpose niyan eh. Hindi clear diyan, nabanggit ko nga kay Engineer Bacho, hindi clear diyan yung whip holes. Meron naman daw separate na ano diyan. Detailed, yes. So thank you, Engineer Bacho. Now we call on the engineers Charles Anthony Serrano for 25 CJ 0015.
Good morning, everyone. I'll be presenting the project with contract ID number 25CJ0015. The contract name is Construction of Multi-Purpose Building Hall, Barangay Pinasling, Gerona, Tarlac. The scope of work is complete construction of a two-story multi-purpose building from structural to architectural finishing with a dimension of 9.4 meter by 6.8 meter.
So do we have any questions?
Sir, yung dinedepende po namin sa available na area po.
Pero basically parang kapitan ang titira dyan, no? Parang kapitan, no?
Yes, sir.
Yun ang mga ano ng kapitan, eh. So thank you. We call on Engineer Elmo Bernardo for 25 CJ 0016.
Good morning. For the project 25 CJ 0016, Preventive Maintenance, Paniqui-Ramos Rd, kilometer 148685, kilometer 148 plus 875, kilometer 148 plus 903 to kilometer 148 plus 954, and kilometer 148 plus 985 to kilometer 150 plus 250. The location is Paniqui-Tarlac and the scope of work is 1.496 kilometer and a net length of 5984 lane kilometer. Asphalt overlay of 4 lanes with a width of 12.4 linear meters and a thickness of 100 millimeters. The project includes reblocking of deteriorated concrete pavement within limits and installation of single-arm solar roadway lighting with a specification of 10-meter pole, 1.5-meter mass arm with 300 watts luminaires, and other road safety features within limits. Application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, white and yellow, with a duration of 121 calendar days.
So anymore? So thank you, Engineer Bernardo. Now we call on Engineer Nico J. Bondok for 25 CJ 0017. So this would be our last project. Tama ba? Ay, di pa. Ay, meron pang isa, no? Okay. Ay, si ano kanina. Dapat tinuloy-tuloy na niya, no? Si Anthony. Sige.
Good morning. For the project ID 25CG0017 with contract name Construction of Multi-Purpose Building Health Center, Barangay Sembrano, Gerona, Tarlac. Scope of work includes the complete construction of a 2-story multi-purpose building health center from structural to architectural finishing with dimension of 10 by 6 meters. Uh, 5 million pa.
That is 4,950,000. So, wala na. Wala tayong tanong, ha? So, we call for the second time Engineer Anthony Jolin for 25 CJ 0018. This would be our last project for this pre-bid conference.
Good morning po everyone. For the project with contract ID 25CJ0018 entitled Construction of Flood Control Structure along Brillante Rangayan, Sapang Burgos Section, Segment 2, Paniqui, Tarlac, is located along the left bank of Tarlac River with a net length of 283 linear meters and is adjacent from the previously stated project of 25CJ0014. It has a project duration of 212 calendar days, having scope of works which includes the following. First, earthworks consisting structure excavation, embankment, and laid aggregate sub-base course for its 11-meter traveled width. Next is for road safety, installation of metal beam guardrail is provided. And lastly, bank and slope protection works which covers the construction of two sloped concrete slope protection structure and a driven Z-type steel sheet pile.
Ano sheet pile? Alright. 9, okay. So, ganun din, ano, meron siyang pagganyan. Oo. Ay, tara, huwag kasunod, kasunod, oo. So, any more? Any more questions? So, thank you. Thank you to all resource persons attended today. So, that's all. Do we have any questions? So, if ever there will be some changes that will necessitate the revision of plans and program of work, we will be issuing supplemental bulletin accordingly. So, if we don't have any questions, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.